gonna go ahead and shoot a video for today because I feel like it. I feel like in a really great mood, and I honestly have no idea why, other than I'm just not as stressed out, even though I kind of should be, I guess. But yeah, like, cause I'm not working, and I'm just in a carefree mood right now. Like, I'm in a really good mood. I'm in a really good place. So I hope I stay that way. And I'm in the middle of preparing made from scratch, like breakfast, like just winging it and seeing how it's going to turn out. And I think it's going to turn out really good. Usually, whenever I cook and it takes me about an hour, it usually turns out pretty good. It's one thing too that I also did a lot in school. I took a home ec class almost every year from 6th grade on up till I graduated. And then if I wasn't taking a home ec class, then when I was taking my child development classes, you have to learn how to cook and like prepare meals and stuff like that. And so like I've always been kind of good at cooking. And that's one thing too that my grandmother, I'll give her props. Mama, I'll give you props. And Granny taught me how to cook some too. Mom kind of did. But I learned how to wing it, and there, like, for a while, like, I was really good at it, but because I've been out of practice so much and everything, especially, like, my grandmother, because I lived with her, she wouldn't really let me cook a lot, because it was her home, like, she wanted her meals her way, so on and so forth, and then, now when I was with my husband, I got to cook, and I got to experiment and stuff and like see how things tasted, and so I was getting better at being decent again after a 2-year break of not cooking at all practically. And I remember my dad even come over when I was with my husband, like I invited him over to eat, and they come over and he's like, Heather can cook. And I was like, you asshole, because when my mom got sick with rheumatoid arthritis, and this was after my daughter was born, and I honestly can't remember where my dad was at. I think he went and stayed with my grandmother for like a year. And, I mean, he would still come and see us and stuff, or be at the house and stuff, but he basically lived with my grandmother, if I remember correctly, and, like, I was the head of the household for as far as the way that the house ran. And my sister and my brother-in-law were living there with my niece, and my mom was sick, and then I had my daughter, and I was done a stay-at-home mom under the circumstances, and so my dad was basically paying the bills for everybody to live there, and he wasn't living there, and so he was paying the bills and stuff. I would go with him, and I would put mom in her wheelchair and get her wheelchair out and stuff whenever she couldn't get out of she couldn't walk and everything, because it hit her real hard whenever she was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis and stuff. And I just remember for the longest, like, I was in this perfect little groove. I had this routine. Like, me and Ava basically woke up at 9:30 every single morning. She would watch Umi Zoomy and her cartoons or whatever and stuff and everything. And she always had a boiled egg. I had to boil an egg the night before. I had to peel it, and I'd chop it up, and then I'd put cheese on it and put it in the microwave, and she adored that. Like, talking about a kid pitching a fit if she didn't have her egg in the morning. And, like, I got to where I could experiment more with my cooking and stuff and everything, and my mom knew I was a decent cook, because when we was younger, me and my sister would kind of cook sometimes or help prepare food with my mom and stuff. And then my grandmother, like I said, I mean, my grandmother, and she used to live across the street, so she'd still come over. And then when I've lived with her, she showed me how to do stuff and everything. But I've always been a pretty decent cook. So, and I was going to say more about it, but my mind is so sporadic half the time. Oh, but the reason I was going to do this is because, like, I've been walking around, and, like, when I was walking my dogs, like, I had a bunch of people looking as they drove by, and I can't stand that. And I know that it's like human instinct to turn your head and look and stuff, but this one couple in a truck, like, they just turned and they just like laughed, and I was just like, and there's no telling what the hell they was laughing at or whatever. There's no telling what the commentary was. It could have been nothing related to me. I completely and totally understand that. But under the circumstances of the way that I've felt and the way that I was raised and stuff, it's really hard sometimes for me to deal with stuff like that. And sometimes it irritates me. But today I didn't let it, because I was just being me and being myself. And I've got some positive encouragement and just nice, kind words and comments from people on my YouTube ever since like last night. And I went to this other woman's site, and she talks about narcissistic parents. And I mean, I thrive really good, but like it's usually like a high and then a low. It's like when somebody compliments me, I'm on this high. I'm just like, hoo, yay, something good about me, Somebody else sees it, hell yeah, And then like, usually it just goes away. It just goes away. And so I have to learn to value myself, and I know that and everything. And so I was walking around, and I was doing some of the funny voices that my kid liked, that she recommended that I should set up a YouTube with our dog, like one of my dogs, Una. Whenever I was bringing her in, she got real excited because she knows something's up. I'm in a good mood. And when she knows I'm in a good mood, she's in a good mood. And right now she's sad because I'm not playing with her. And I get it. And I'm too tired to play with her. And plus I'm waiting on this bacon to get done that I got in the oven. But, I don't want to burn it. But, anyways, hang on, my kid, it can still go a while. I got it down pretty low. But, my kid and everything, like, she used to adore the voices. And so, this morning, like, just when I was bringing her in, I was like, oh, and I was like doing a voice for her, and I was like, oh, can I be fed right now? Will you feed me right now? Please feed me right now. I need to be fed right now. Can I be fed? Please, 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 please. Stuff like that. And then, like, I do not just regular kind of voices like that and stuff, like goofing off and everything. I kind of get this little bit of a accent to me sometimes and stuff, and I'm like, golly bum, I can't believe that happened, and holy shit and bloody hell, and all kinds of stuff. And my kid used to adore that. And then I remembered this thing that I used to do with her, probably when she was around, it started I think when she was around 5, like when me and my husband was together. Like, I probably even started it before then, because she come up to me one day, I think when I was on the phone with my husband. She's not used to me giving attention to nobody else. That's another thing, too, about her being an only child. My child is not used to my attention being anyplace else, and that has been a really big damper in the past 2 years of her being home, because I'm like, you're old enough to know to clean your room by yourself. You're old enough to do this by yourself. I shouldn't have to tell you. And even though, yes, my child has been diagnosed as probably more than likely, is what the doctor said. He didn't give a full diagnosis, but he's like, it seems like it. She's been diagnosed supposedly of having ADD, ADHD. She's like borderline between them or whatever, because he's like, she kind of, the way she goes about moving her hands, like she fidgets her hands sometimes and stuff. Or she don't fidget, but like she'll sit there and she'll like bite her nails, or she'll pick, she'll like just find something to do. And she's always loved different textures, anything sticky, gooey, Play-Doh, spiky, pointy, just all kinds of, she loves feeling things, furry, like, the pets, and soft, and she just has always been into feeling things with her hands and stuff, and like different textures and stuff like that. And but God, I miss my baby. But back to when this originated and everything, I think she was like 5, and so it's when I was first talking to my husband before we got married, and she would bug me, like when I was on the phone trying to talk to him, and trying to get to know him more. I'd be like, baby, you can't do that, I'm trying to test him, I guess you'd say, and see how good he's gonna be. You can't, whenever I was off the phone. And she'd still, and like I said, she's diagnosed as having ADD or ADHD or whatever. And even me trying to slack up on telling her what to do, I mean, I would still, be like, you need to clean your room. You need to clean your room like 4 times a day. We're used to, like, it was like 7, And, but anyways, the funny thing that I did that she liked that I remembered today or whatever is, like, I would do my hand like just a little, regular puppet, if you will, stance. And I would be like, mwah, and I'd be like, wah, and she would talk back to it, or I'd get her to talk to it. Like, I'd pester her. I'd be like, and poke her and be like, and like, because you're not talking to me. And then she'd be like, what do you want? And I'd be like, here's something here, and she'd be like, what? And I'd be like, hey, she's been in there, and she'd be like, what? And then, like, I would point at something around us, like, say there was a pen or a paper, and I'd be like, hey, she's got something, and then she'd pick up the pen, and she'd be like, what? And I'd be like, do, I'd take it and I'd like draw a picture and I'd be like, hey, and she'd be like, what? And I'd be like, do this, or, like, no, Clarabelle, really? She barks at everything. I love you though, but go lay down, please. But, so I'd be like that with her and stuff. And, like, then say there's crowns around, and then I'd hit the crown, and then I'd hit the paper, and then she'd color, and she would just laugh and giggle, and we would have the best time. And then she'd sit there and she'd, like, poke my hand like it was a person and, like, kind of slap it away and stuff, and I would like, fake cry, and I'd be like, and then she'd be like, I'm sorry, and I'd be like, and stuff. I'd be like, what? Or whatever. And I didn't say words, though. I just made up different sounds and everything. And she adored the hell out of it. And she used to beg me to do it. Oh, my God, she used to beg me. She used to be like, Mama, will you do the hand thing? Will you do the hand thing, Mama? Will you do the hand thing? And I wish I would have done it more now looking back and everything. But that's just like anything. Like, when you're tired and you're exhausted and you got your own stuff and everything. But Lord God bless, like, it was freaking hilarious. Like, I loved making her happy like that, like, so much. And actually, whenever she got older, though, she got to where she didn't like it, or it irritated her or whatnot. And so yeah, like, I don't know, babies grow up, that's for damn sure. But I'm just in a really good, like, kind of nostalgic type mood, and trying to not focus on the negative and trying to focus on the positive and trying to stay on that. And it's like a training thing. It's like every day it's like what was it I said in my, not my last video, but my one before or whatever. It's like a drug addict, It's like once you get used to something, once you get used to a way of thinking or a mindset or something, it's hard to get out of that and everything. And it's like, I want to be able to get back to this positive mindset and everything, but it's really, really difficult, and it takes a lot of willpower. And concluding I've already had to use so much willpower to get just simple basic things done, I'm freaking exhausted, man. And so I feel like I deserve to be happy and have time to goof off and, like, just have a good time and be happy and stuff. And so even if it's like this and it's me alone with just the pets and my kid not home, then I'll be grateful for what I get. I'll try and everything. I'll try to stay humble and everything. But Lord God bless my baby. I've had so many good memories with her. It's ridiculous. And I used to be so, like, kind of worried when she got a little older, because when she was like 7 and 8, because she's been a mama's girl, she would ask for me to take a bath with her. And, like, it bothered me because of my past, because I only recall my father touching me once. But still, once is more than, should be, And it was just a touch, from his hand, And even at that, like I said, though, one is too many times. It's just too many times. And he may have done more, and I may have blocked it out. I don't know. And in all honesty, I don't care. I don't live in the past. I live in the now. I don't live back there. I live here, you know? And I don't want to keep going backwards. I want to go forwards with my life. But it's really hard sometimes. And so when my daughter was real little, you know, up until she was like 5, like, yeah, I would bathe with her, you know, like, heck, I remember giving her a shower, you know, when she was an infant. Like, I'd have her tub in the back of the shower, and I'd block the shower head, and then I'd pick her up, and then I'd wash her. And I remember holding her in front of the shower head and rinsing her off, and she loved that. She thought it was so funny, you know, and she still wanted me to do her like that, even when she got like 2 and 3 and everything. And like, you know, she thought it was so funny. And there was even times that I would like pretend do dropsy with her, I guess. And even though, yes, that's dangerous to do and everything, I was in better health than I am even now, because I was younger for starters. But I used to work out a lot and stuff, and so, I mean, you know, you gotta learn to trust your own body and stuff. And so I'd get her in there, and I'd get her all sudsed up, and I'd pick her up, and then I'd act like I'd drop her, you know, you know, and I wouldn't drop her, but I'd let her slide a little bit, and I'd be like, God, you're so soapy, you know, what did you do to yourself? And she'd be like, Mama, you're the one that did it, you know, and I'd be like, oh yeah, I had to wash you stunk, you know. I mean, I just used to have the best time. Like, I'm very childish to a degree. Like, I just love to have a good time. And, I mean, I've teased her so much and stuff, but in a loving, kind way to the best of my ability and everything. And she used to laugh. God, she used to laugh so much. I miss her laugh. God. Okay, I'm not gonna cry, but I miss her laugh so much. Whew. But anyways, so fuck, I forgot what I was talking about, other than the hand puppet thing and stuff like that, and just missing my kid, and the fact, like, the way that I used to goof off with her, and I used to make her laugh, and she just acted like she really, you know, enjoyed the good times, which everybody enjoys the good times, you know, but there hasn't really been a lot of bad times is the thing. And I did get her to, you know, and it took a lot, you know, and everything, when I was still going to visitation, when I could still stomach it. It took a lot, but, and I could tell it took a lot for her to say it, like, pride-wise. Because she's her mama's baby. She's very prideful. Very, very prideful. And so I was like, yeah, something or another. And I kind of popped off because, I mean, that's the way we do. She even does it, you know. And I'm not going to sit there and act like I'm perfect or anything. But I popped off and I was like, yeah, I was like, at least Michaela and Delaney, that's my niece's names. I was like, at least they give me a hug. I said, heck, I said, you won't even give me a hug. I said, you act like you don't even miss me any at all. And when I said that, like, it stung her. It did. And I didn't mean for it to, but it did. And she said to me, she said, well, I do miss you, you know. And she said, I do miss you, you know. And I was like, okay, you know. And I was like, well, thanks for at least saying that. And like, my niece looked at her like, uh-oh, you're gonna get in trouble for saying that, you know. That's at least how I read the facial cue of my niece, you know. And my niece kind of looked at my daughter, you know, like, you know. And then she kind of scooted over closer to my daughter, and she's like, you do miss her? And I thought to myself, really, Michaela? You know, like, dang, kid, like, heck, you miss me. Like, you tell me you miss me. Like, heck, this baby, when she comes spend the night, she couldn't wait to run up and hug me, you know? And I was just like, this child? Lord help her, you know? And so I was just like, you know, I was like, okay, you know, and I was like, well, and I was just sitting there, and Ava said, in the quietness of like Michaela looking and then scooting over and being like, "You do miss her?" or something like that. She said something along that line. Ava's like, "Yeah, I miss her." And she's like, "Whenever y'all are gone or I'm in the bedroom alone," she's like, "Yeah, I miss my mom," or something along that lines. I don't know. I can't ever remember how people say stuff because I'm so wrapped up in myself, I reckon. But I know that it was something along that line, and I about teared up, and then I was like, "Oh, it's okay, baby," because I could tell that it stung her, and I was like, "It's okay," and I was like, "Well, that's normal. You're supposed to miss me. That's right, and that's good, and it's not good, but." It's, and then I was like, I don't know what, trying to be silly. I was like, I don't know what I'm talking about. I was like, I don't know, and stuff like that. Cause like, life's hard, and so you gotta have a good sense of humor, and that's just like I talked about one time when I was going to my counselor. I got her laughing. I got her fucking laughing about the shit that I've been through. And I was like, and holy shit, and this and that, and this, and everything. And she's just like, and then I got back to being, like, I got out of the comedy phase of it, and I was kind of like, but, this and that and that and this. And, like, I wasn't making eye contact with her or nothing. And then I noticed she was silent while I was silent, and I thought, okay, she's not saying nothing. And I looked up, and I wasn't avoiding eye contact with her. I just look around a lot, obviously, and stuff. And, so I was like, she's quiet. I'm quiet. She's not saying nothing. Maybe she's writing something down, or maybe she's going to give me the number for somebody else, or I don't know. So I look up, and she's like, kind of like this. And I'm like, what is it? Because I don't know her well enough to know if she's fixing to start crying or if she's laughing or what her face, is representing like that. And I'm like, what is it? And she's like, I know I shouldn't laugh. She's like, but that was just really funny. Like, she was trying so hard to keep her composure. I was just like, damn, I even got the counselor laughing. I was like, hell yeah, I should be a comedian, And that's another thing, too, that, like, I kind of, because I don't know. I don't know if I should be into zodiac signs. I don't know if I should be into tarot. I don't know if it's good or bad. I don't know if it's, and that's the way you kind of got to be with life. Like, you can't be set on something is 100% bad. And that's even like my kid being gone. I'm taking the good out of it. And you've got to learn to take the good out of every situation that comes your way. Because if not, you're going to be in a living hell. And believe me, I know, because I've been there and I've seen it and I've lived it firsthand and all kinds of stuff like that and everything. And so, with that being said and everything, I'll just wait to pour this up until I'm done making the video. But, with that being said and everything, shit, I really want to pour it up now. I might in a second. I don't know. And Una keeps following me because she wants some of it. She smells the bacon. You smell bacon? Yeah. I smell bacon, Mama. Okay, move your butt. Thank you. But anyways, what the hell was I even saying before I got sidetracked? I don't even know. Something about staying positive, and if not, you're gonna live in your own hell, and everything like that. And so I'm just in a really positive mood today. I'm in a really good mood. I hope I stay this way. Hope I stay this way for the rest of my life. That would be really freaking awesome. But I know bad times come, and stuff and everything. And so it's just like mind over matter, mindset, and all that and everything. And Carrie Boo. Her looks so pitiful because I'm not paying with her. I don't give her no attention. Look at this dog. Is she not precious? Hold on. Let me see if I can get her face. This is my daughter's dog. And the other dog that just hogged over the camera, that is my dog right there. Even though technically they're both our dogs, but Uno's my baby. Uno got me through the divorce, and Carrie is now getting me through Ava not being home. And I'm getting Carrie through it because Carrie's suffered, and so has Una, and our cat Stevie. Like he's lived so long. He's like a grandpa. He's just like old and wise and like like I'm not saying he don't care, but once you've lived long enough, you kind of just whatever. It don't matter, you know. And I know things will work out for the best, and or at least that's the cat's mentality. I wish I could have that mentality. But he's 10 years old, so. In cat years, he's way older than I am in human. But, that's another thing, too. Like, this one person talking to me and leaving nice comments and stuff, kind of made a little bit of a comment about my lack of education. And I know that I'm not completely educated in... Fuck, I don't think I'm completely educated in any damn thing, in all honesty. I just know a little bit of everything. I'm like a jack of all trades. And then, that's another thing, too, about horoscopes and zodiac signs and stuff. Western astrology, I'm a Leo. Vedic astrology, I'm a Cancer. And for as far as Western astrology, being a Leo, that's one of the traits of being a Leo, kind of, is like you're a jack of all trades. You can kind of do everything really good, but you can't do anything great. And then being a scapegoated child, boy, that just really puts a damper on things, let me tell you. But, anyways, it's just a lot that I've been through and everything, and I gotta learn to stay positive, Lord, do I. And then another thing, too, that I'm sitting here, even though I was kind of nauseous, but I think that's just because, I'm used to drinking sweet tea all the time, and right now I'm out of sugar, and so I can't make any sweet tea, and, but it might be the whiskey, I don't know. I drank whiskey not last night, but the night before with my friend, and I've never tried it before, and I felt a little nauseous, or it could just be sinuses draining, nerves, whatever, but I felt a little bit nauseous, and I thought, is that because I drank the whiskey? And I thought, no. And then another thing, too, about me drinking the whiskey is I had a dream, and I mean a full in detail dream of somebody, and it's actually a reoccurring dream, because I remember having it before, but it's like, it's not me, but I'm me. It's like I'm a younger me or something, and it's like the person in my dream is somebody I've never... It was almost like, say you cut up 4 different people and put them together. Like, the face looked familiar, but it didn't match the body or what, and everything. And so, but anyways, I was like, hey, I'm dreaming. Like, I usually don't dream a lot because my sinuses are so bad and I'm so stressed out and everything else. And, so, like I said, I drank that whiskey, and boy, I had a dream, and it was a weird one for sure, but it wasn't the worst, and it wasn't the weirdest that could occur, and it wasn't even the weirdest that I've had, even though it was kind of up there. It was kind of up there on the weird factor. But, so I was like, hey, maybe I should drink, when I do drink, which I drink on occasion, maybe I should drink whiskey, and, then my mood being like this, I'm like, maybe if I drink, I should drink whiskey instead of anything else, even though it was cheap whiskey, and, we ended up mixing it with Sprite. It's really, really, really sweet, I mean, I like sweet tea and shit, but damn, but I drunk it, but, another thing, too, though, that might have made me sick off of it is I don't even think I'd ate anything that day for, the past, 5 or 6 hours. Because, I mean, I've fasted before. I've about been on the verge of being anorexic when I was younger. But I wasn't. I would still eat. And even, this incident when all this started going on with my kid, and then with the girl that I fell in love with, EJ, and just that, I kind of reverted back a little bit for a moment in time, and I got to where I was really particular about what I was eating, or if I ate and everything, and then I went 3 days and didn't eat, so you can call it fasting if you will. But I went 3 days and I didn't damn eat, and then whenever I ate, I ate a half of a sandwich, and it took every ounce of willpower inside of me to eat that sandwich. Because when you've not ate, and then you do eat, and you realize that you have to do it because it's the norm and stuff like that, it feels like it is the most absurd and disgusting thing to have to do on the face of the planet. It feels absolutely grotesque. Like the texture, the chewing, the swallowing, the going down your throat, the bloating in your stomach or whatever, and everything. Like, it's just a lot when you've dealt with stuff and everything. But luckily, my little anorexia spell, if you will, or whatever, was when I was in high school before I had my kid, and it is when I actually had braces, and that's kind of what started it, is because my braces hurt so bad I couldn't eat. It's not that I didn't want to, it's that I couldn't. It hurt so bad. I was in so much freaking pain. And I'd done been working out and being skinny and stuff, and trying to be skinny and wanting to be skinny and everything. But this happening and whatnot just added to it, and I was just like, fuck, I ain't gonna eat. And so I didn't eat there for a while and stuff. And I remember my aunt too was like, you look so pretty, but your teeth, I can tell that you're not going to have healthy gums when you grow up. And my aunt's always been one of those that even with her own daughter, she's very critical. And so I tried to remind myself that she was just very critical. But at the same time, it worried me because she did used to, what was it? She used to be not a receptionist, but an assistant, a dental hygiene assistant, or whatever it's called. I don't know. And so her saying that to me was really worried me and everything. But now I don't even give a shit about my teeth to a degree. I mean, I do, but I don't. Like, I go back and forth on caring. Because all the crap I've been through. But, anyways. So, I dealt with that and stuff. But, yeah, I'm just in a really lighthearted, good mood today. Like, and so maybe, I don't know. Maybe I can at least accomplish some things. I'm already accomplishing making a breakfast, and I hope it turns out really good. I just wish I had some sweet tea to drink with it, but I'm not paying $5 for damn what is it, like 2 pounds of sugar at the store that's close to me, and I ain't doing it. I ain't happening. So that's that, and that's where I'm at with that. And I need to go to the store sometime, but I'm not going to push for it, and I'm not going to worry about it, and it is what it is, and I'm here. But yeah, like I got tickled at myself, I guess is the best way to put it, because I was like walking around outside walking my dogs, and I was like, cheerio, and just weird shit, like just off the top of my head, anything that popped into my head, I was just doing like a little voice for it, just goofing off and playing around. And I thought, this is a perfect time when I wish my kid was here and stuff, and like just playing with her and stuff and everything. And then I thought, but I wouldn't be like this if I was working right now. I would be tired, I would be exhausted, I'd be irritable, I'd be this, I'd be that. And so I've been out of work now for like, a week and a half or 2 weeks, something like that. And, I mean, that work puts a lot of stress on you. Anybody that works a job will know that, But, trying to explain that to a kid that's never had to deal with it, for the majority of their childhood, and then all of a sudden they had to deal with it. That was a lot. And then also another thing too is my kid, she went to go spend the night with one of her friends, and I let her spend the night and everything, and we both had a intuition, I guess you'd say, and even got kind of nauseous feeling before she left. And I was like, I really don't think you should go, and she's like, please, she's like, but I still want to. And I was like, okay, make your own decision. And she went, and they got in a car wreck, and the person that hit the car has a last name that could be related back to somebody that I could know that I could maybe have some issues with just because I run my mouth as much as I do. But I kind of doubt it. But you never know in this world. You never know how shady and shallow people are until you know. And then even at that, you still don't know. And, but anyways, thing is too, is they hit right where my daughter was sitting. And anybody that knows me would know that my child has known. Anybody that's even been in a 5-mile radius probably to a degree of me and my daughter would know that my daughter is my pride and my joy. And so in that, if I offend you, yet I'm too big and bad or whatever for you to approach and talk to, even though, I mean, I'll have my days where, yeah, I'm in a bad mood already, and you want to come and approach me and talk to me about something that I'm not in the mood to fucking hear. Yeah, it's probably not a good idea, but I will respectfully tell you, I'm not in the mood for this. Please leave. I will give you warnings, just like with a kid, just like I was taught to in child development classes, Don't do that. Please don't do that, Please stop that. Here, let's do this. Here, come here, let's play this. This looks more fun. Please don't do that. Please don't, and then eventually you gotta put your foot down and you gotta say, okay, if you do it again, you're gonna go to timeout. And then you gotta follow through with it, But, I'll give you warnings, and I'll let you know ahead of time. Like, if you come up to me and you're like, hey, I need to talk to you about something that you said or something that you did that hurt my feelings or upset me, like, I'll be like, I'm not in the mood for this today. I can't talk about this right now. I'm not in the right mindset. I'm not in a good place, and I'll give you warnings, but you keep on, it's like you mess with the bull, you're gonna get the horns, and so I'll get mean, I'll get hateful with my words, and God forbid I ever gotta get hateful, and defend myself. But like I've said before, I do not fight. I do not like to fight. I just don't do it. It's not something I do. It's not something I'm proud of or anything like that. But, anyways, other than that, I'll talk to you. If you say, hey, I want to talk to you about something. I heard that you said this, or I heard that you did that, and everything else. And I'm very reasonable. I'm very able to sit down and, talk to you. And because I'm so damn country, I reckon, and everything, and my family and my heritage and shit. It's like I'll talk to you in fucking layman's terms, probably so damn fucking country, you might not even know what the fuck I'm saying, and I might have to reword it and try to sound a little bit more eloquent and everything, or whatever, or intelligent, or informed, or, guided, or whatever word you want to use. But, I don't know. I don't know why I am the way that I am, and I'm trying to learn to be proud of it and not be cocky, though. People think I'm so cocky, and the thing is like, they'll get on to me, the people that I've been around in my life, they'll get on to me, or they'll get mad about it, or they'll try to be up my ass and like be like, oh, well, if you're gonna be a cocky person, then I want to be a cocky person with you because I'm already cocky, and it's like, no, I don't even want to be cocky. I don't want to come across as arrogant. I just want to be the best person I can be, and I would hope that that's what everybody wants for themselves, And I know that's what my daughter wants for herself, because for starters, I just know. And for seconds, that's like my kid. And like even last night, like I was looking up words, what was it? Because I was like, hey, I text my one friend, I was like, hey, I need you to take me to EJ's house. like just very anxious, excited, and like, I want to go see EJ right now, you know, like, right now. And like, I'm not supposed to go over there, and so it played out the way that it should have and everything. But like, I texted her that, and it was like 2 hours later that she texted me. She's like, I was asleep, you know, and I was like, oh well, you know, that's good because I'm not really supposed to go over there anyway, so it's okay, you know. And she's like, what, you know, and I was like, I don't know, I just got this, I'm just sitting here, you know, and getting happy about myself and things and trying to be positive. It's like the positive mindset has switched on, and I'm just like, I know how I feel about her, and I know that I want to talk to her, and I know how she feels about me, even if she won't admit to it, but we're going to at least talk to her and make her admit that she's not admitting the truth or some shit. Like, I don't even know. It's like a bootleg run or some shit or something. But I was just like, you know, I texted her, and I was like, you want to take me? And she's like, I was asleep, you know, and I was like, well, it's probably for the best, you know, because I'm not supposed to, you know, because the way that they treated me when I went over. And so I was just like, yeah. And I was like, I don't know what to do with this anxious energy and this, you know, wanting to see her and, you know, and everything. And she's like, just find something to do. Find something to work out or, you know, do something. And I thought, yeah, I need to do something for me, you know. And so I straightened up a little around the house. But that was it. But, Lord, I get so sidetracked. But I just got in that anxious, excited mood because I'm living in my own truth, I guess is the best way to put it and everything. And about people like being cocky and wanting to be my friend and everything, but I cannot find anybody that wants to not be cocky and arrogant and stay humble. I can't find somebody that wants to constantly stay humble because it is a fucking dreadful process to try to stay humble all the time, and then to try to balance also having self-confidence and being proud of yourself, and it's enough to drive a person mad. And so you gotta let go and let God, you know. And that's just like EJ. I texted her one night and I was like, hey, you know, you want to take me to a tattoo? And she's like, only if you're paying and you get me one or something like that. And I was like, hell yeah, let's go. And then she's like, no, or something like that. But I thought about getting tattooed on my arm, let go and let God, you know, because that's you know. And I watched this, what was it, Alan Watts, I think, one of the videos by him, and he talks about Hinduism and Buddha and all that and everything. And what was it he said? Something about that you basically got to learn to do that anyways, because you're never going to know all the stuff that you need to know to make a decision. That's what it was. It was something about dealing with making decisions. And it was like, you know, you can't get all the education to make the right decision, because there's always more education than your brain can practically handle. And in all honesty, it really is like that. It's like, say me eating this that I'm fixing to eat, if it tastes good. Okay, if it tastes good, I ain't even gonna lie, because it might taste like shit, but because it's just a concoction. But hopefully it will, because it smells really good and it tasted good, the batter and stuff before, and it's got bacon, and anything with bacon's supposed to be good. But so my health ain't the greatest, so you can take that factor into account, and you could be like, oh no, bacon's horrible for you if your health's not the greatest. And then heart disease runs in my family. Then I'm pretty sure that I had a stroke when my baby was home. Then sometimes I worry that I might have a blood clot in my leg from my fucked up ankle that just sitting there waiting, because sometimes it feels, but it's probably just my muscle, I hope and I pray, being twisted up in my thigh, because it's leading up from my ankle and it's throwing my body out of alignment. And I can only hope, and then I can just put it off to just, I can try to be like, no, I'm perfect, and it's just a phantom pain out of freaking nowhere, you know, or whatever. But it bothers me quite a bit. It's actually bothering me slightly right now, but not as bad as it was the past few days. But maybe that's because of the whiskey. Hell, I don't know, even though it was 2 damn nights ago. But, anyways, so I could be like, oh, I shouldn't eat bacon. Oh, that's bad for me. Oh, this, I have heart disease in the family. This and that. I do have a heart murmur. All the girls in the family have heart murmurs. I should stay away from anything greasy. I should stay away from this. I should stay away. And I can sit there and I can overanalyze it, but then I can analyze the good stuff about it. And the point is that you can analyze the shit out of anything. You can analyze stuff to death. You can debate things from both ends incessantly. And if anything is proven that in a global matter, that would be like the presidents, and the presidency and everything, like over here and all the shit and all the leaders and the wars and everything. You can argue both sides. And that's the reason, what was it? One girl said to me that I might have borderline personality disorder. And even though I'd have to read back up on that to remember exactly what the hell it is, if I remember correctly, it's kind of like you can't figure out who you are, or like self-identity, type stuff and everything like that. And like you can't identify. And maybe I do have that, and if I do, hey, but I'm not going to sit here and get doped up on meds just to take it, because I believe God creates every person and he gives them their own mind and willpower and stuff to be and do what he's trying to guide them and what he wants them to do and be and everything. And that's even like an argument between me and this girl, because, girls aren't supposed to be together and everything. And she's like, hey, you're such a hypocrite. And I'm like, I know, and then I'm like, but you are too. And then she's like, she's really mad, and I'm like, pot calling the kettle black, and that's the way it is with anything. And that's even like my parents, me sitting here and be like, my mom's a narcissist, my dad's this, and I watched one video where this woman's talking about narcissists and the way that they act and the way that they behave. And I was just like, holy shit, that kind of sounds a little bit like me whenever I look back at my videos that I've posted on YouTube, my vlogs or whatever. And I was like, maybe I'm a narcissist. And then I was like, how does a narcissist not drive until they're 30, and stuff like that. And so you've got so many different vast chemicals and ways, and I don't know the terminology to use and everything, but you've got so much vastness, not just in the universe, but within yourself. You really do. There is so many complex, delicate, sensitive, angry, or not angry, but volatile, if you will, things that we all have that create the human being that God designed us to be. And like I've said before, I'm not sitting there and being like, hey, oh, you're a serial killer and, and that's great and go out and just kill people. No, I'm not fucking saying that, Like, if you have the desire to want to kill people, then that's stemming from something negative, and you yourself should have enough common sense to know that, and in that you should work on that, And by work on that, I don't mean like going from, oh, well, I'm going to graduate from killing people to just cutting their leg off, and letting them, or something. I don't even fucking know. Like, because I don't even walk down that trail. I don't even walk down that path and everything, even though, like, I can get into scary movies and scary stories and stuff like that and everything. And, as a matter of fact, one of my favorite kind of just really sickening, twisted, and fucked up scenes from a movie is whenever, Hannibal Lecter, he's got free and he's cut that damn dude's head open and he feeds the guy a piece of his brain, and I was just like, holy shit, and I was like, damn, and I was like, that's fucked up. Like, but that just did it for me. That was just like mind fucked, I was no pun intended or whatever, or pun, but dang on, like, I don't even know, man. I don't even know, but and I mean, I don't know, and I'm okay with not knowing. And that's one thing that people really need to grasp is it is genuinely fucking okay to not know. Now, I'm not saying you need to sit there and you need to be like a dumbass or anything, and be like, I don't know and I don't care to ever know and I'm never going to know because it's easier to not know. And even though it is in some instances to be like that, especially if it's stressing you out more than it is if it's I don't know, if it's not benefiting you. I'm trying to think of a word for not benefit and I can't even fucking think of it right now. But you've got to pick and choose for yourself. You've got to learn to live within yourself, be yourself. Oh my God, my nose has been bothering me all day on this side. But, how? And I just bit my tongue. It's halfway done, I think. 3:50. Yeah, that'll take about 15 minutes, actually. But, anyways, you've got to learn to listen to yourself. You've got to learn to follow your own intuition and stuff like that and everything. And even though I really kind of suck at that sometimes, and then we've even got to be okay with that. We got to be like, I sucked at following my intuition and I did this and I got my ass in more hot water and in more fucking trouble than I ever fucking intended and than I ever fucking meant to. And, you've got to be forgiving of yourself and everything. Like, the world is just very complex. That's the reason there's only one God. That's the reason God or spirit or whatever you want to call it is in control. That's the reason we have the illusion of control that we build and we put in our own goddamn mind and shit like that, but it's just a fucking illusion. It's just a fucking illusion. And then that's the reason, probably, in all honesty, that you got these people out here that are like, oh, we're in the Matrix. We're in the Matrix. Is because they've seen higher up, but they're never going to reach high enough. And yes, maybe we are to a degree in a matrix, but it's not like they think, not like they've but it's like we are, because everything is an illusion. Everything is an extension of whatever you try to make it be and everything, and then it's all based upon you and how you take it. That's just like, for instance, my damn apartment and the way that it's decorated. My landlord has made it very apparent that she does not like it. She does not approve of it. And she thinks it's downright fucking tacky is the best way to word it. And yes, I'm putting words in her mouth. She didn't say that to me. But, when people make faces or make kind of rude comments and stuff and everything like that, you can kind of get it, and you're not stupid and you're not blind to it and everything else. But I'm an 80s kid. I was raised in the 80s. If you look back at any movies that show the 80s houses and all the clutter and the way things were decorated and stuff, that's the way that I do. That's the way that I've been. I mean, I might not always be like that. And, that's just what I grew up in, And so, you want to judge me for it? Fine, judge me for it. But guess what? I'm going to put the same type of judgment on you. And you might think that I'm not entitled to do that because I don't have the money that you have, or I don't have the lifestyle that you have. And this is where you will be humbled, because you will realize that any judgment that you place on anybody can be flipped and reversed, and they can have a judgment on you. That's just like I'm talking about how you can sit and you can debate both sides all fucking day long. And that's the reason some men just hate women. Like, they just fucking hate us. They're just like, damn, would you shut the fuck up? Just shut the fuck up. Okay, you're right. I'll agree with you. Whatever, And stuff like that is because they know. They know. And boy, do I too. And I even do it to my damn self. So I fucking know. I fucking get it, man. And that's the reason even dealing with EJ and my kid, Ava. It's like, I know. Okay? I'm a woman too, And like, I know. But men can also have this trait and this quality, and there's plenty of evidence, and evidence even online with even our president, that they can sit and they can debate back and forth and back and forth and back and forth until they beat it in the fucking ground, and you don't know your ass from a hole in the ground, like, it's just like, which is which? Fuck if I know. Hell, let's just go get drunk and say shit on it, but you got to stop and smell the roses, I guess. And that's what was it? I've been watching the old movie Ed that has oh God, what's his name? That guy from Friends that played Joey. Fuck, I forgot his real name. But anyways, what is his name? Jesus Christ. Anyways, like I said, I can't know everything. But been watching that, and in the movie, he goes to go kiss the girl, and she's like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "Stopping to smell the roses." You know. God, I'm so like nervous, anxious, excited, like energy just. And maybe this is where my kid gets her ADHD from. Hell if I know. All I know is I'm just in a good mood, and I hope it stays that way. But I'm gonna end it because it's 55 minutes. So, if you like my videos, you can comment, like, share, or subscribe. If you want to comment and just talk, that's fine. Please do not be rude or hateful to me. I will try my best to not be rude or hateful to you. I am who I am. You are who you are. I respect people as a creation of God to the best of my ability because we all are equal. And so, yeah, and I'll catch you later.